Hey folks, Stuart Warren here, fly fishing guide on the Rogue River, guide with the Ashland Fly Shop. I want to talk to you a little bit about fishing in smaller buckets and shorter environments. One of the most common mistakes I see from a lot of my customers is the first thing you do, I put you out in the run, you walk out here, and before you're even out here, you're ripping the line off. I mean, you got your fly at your feet and you're sitting here and you're just pulling line off the reel. Well, the bucket we're about to fish here is only about 30 feet long. So now when I've got all my line out, I get it out there, I'm ready to go, and I'm just gonna send it out there in real bad cast, right? Well, with that length of line, I just completely missed the whole entire bucket. And so what I want you to do in most cases, and this is what I do in most of my big runs even, I'm gonna start short. So I tell my guys, walk out there, stand in that spot right where I'm at here now, and I want you just to unhook your fly. So I'm just gonna show you here, be real simple. So I got my line all wrapped up on the rod here. I'm literally just gonna unhook my fly, take it off, and my first cast could be my best one. It's very possible in this spot in particular that I could hook a fish on this very first cast. So make it count. Don't just chuck it out there. Do it right. If you need to do an off shoulder, but just flop it out there. And you want it to land in these short environments without having to mend it. Because if I cast it out there on a short line like that and mend it, I'm just gonna A, pull the fly right back out of the spot, and B, my fly's not gonna fish immediately. On these short casts, I want that fly to land and fish immediately. So now I'm gonna take off about 3 feet of line, and I'm gonna just make that cast again, and I'm gonna make it count, right? Casting almost a true 45 so that fly lands and it fishes immediately. Because that fish could be laying right on this nice soft choppy seam right in here. I've caught many of them right here. Okay, now it comes the hang down, 3 more feet of line off the reel. And I'm just gonna keep doing these little off shoulder single spays because it gets my fly in the right spot. I kicked just a little tiny min in it because that hooked a little bit on my cast, but the fly didn't get disrupted during that cast. So pay attention to these first casts. To date, my largest steelhead, 22.5 pounds, came on a cast about this long. I mean, we're talking, there's the bottom. We're talking maybe, 20 feet, if that? So now I've worked through that spot, I'm gonna take off 3 more feet of line. And what I tell my customers to do a lot of times is to work to a comfortable casting distance, something that I can replicate, something that I'm not just beating myself on trying to get it out there. There's a couple things that does for us. A, it keeps our fly fishing well the whole time. but B, I don't cast it out there so far that I have to do a big, mend in it, which A, pulls it out of the spot, and B, look, my fly's not even fishing right now. I'm dead drifting, right? We want these flies to be fishing immediately in these small buckets. So keep it short, keep it to what you can do. And if you got a big heavy fly on here and you're not casting it well, that means it's not fishing well. And so no matter how deep you're getting, you're probably not gonna hook a fish because your fly's not fishing well. So keep it within your capabilities. Don't try to prove anything to anyone. I know we all like to huck mega. It's fun, I get it. And there is the appropriate spots for hucking mega. But when you're fishing these shorter buckets, these smaller environments, don't take it out there and just huck it across the river. Okay, keep it short, keep it simple. You can just do a little parry poke over your left shoulder if you need to. Send it out there. A little small mend just to keep that thing from getting towed around, and it's in the game. So another thing about keeping the line at an appropriate length is the spot I'm fishing here, it's not real big. And on that far side of the river, you see it's real slow. It's really kind of dead water. It's not where I'd expect to find a fish. So there's no point in casting it over there like this, right? I'm gonna send it over there just to show you what ends up happening. See, that line gets hung up out there in that slow stuff, so I gotta keep mending it. I gotta keep mending it. So my fly's really never fishing that well until about now, right? So I'm spending and wasting time out in water that's not fishable. Keep that cast to an appropriate length to where you suspect the fish are gonna be. So at this length here now, I'm actually gonna shorten it back up. Bring it back in here, because I did not like the way that fished. So I'm gonna bring it back in, and I'm gonna try that cast again here. Perfect. Lays right on the side of that little seam right there. There's this little soft bucket right in through there. But my fly was in the zone the whole time, right? Maximizing that fly time in the zone is the best way to hook as many steelhead as you can, or just one. Most of the time when we're out here, we're just looking for one fish. Sometimes we do better than that, but a lot of days we're working hard for one. So keep your fly in the zone, don't overcast it. And in small environments like this, don't overmend it. Just a little small mend like that's really all you need to do. but know what you're fishing before you fish it. I know it's fun to kind of search with the swing, but you end up spending a lot of time in water that's not really fishable. So really understand your water, take a good look at it, walk up and down the bank if you have to take a look at it, and then go back and fish it well, right? That's the key, fishing everything well.